Hi there, I'm Noah, and this is episode 5 of breaking down my latest album, Identity. Today we're looking at Moon and Sun, which there's not really a backstory behind. This is more going to just be talking about piano playing, a little bit of music theory, and I don't think it'll be very long. But, I say that about every episode, and then they end up being 45 minutes to an hour long. So we'll see. The only little backstory that I can tell you about this was that it uses 2 chords from a warm-up that I do. It's this little song, so it's like... So it's pretty simple chords. You got this E major 7, 7, E major 7, 9, to an E7 flat 9, that's to an F sharp minor 7, to a D7 over 9. So we're using the same chords. We're getting rid of 2. So the initial chord progression is, and then this one we're just going, and that's kind of it. And then we come in with this chorus. The intro is unique because it uses this chord that I don't actually know the name, so I'm going to cheat and figure it out using logic. So it calls it a B7 9 13. And I've always wanted to use this for a song because it's really like... It's just really soulful, very jazzy. Obviously, this genre is kind of like jazz fusion, I guess. I'm not really sure what I would call it. It's not traditional jazz, obviously. It's more contemporary jazz, but I don't even. Maybe those 2 terms don't go together. I don't know. The point is, it's just pretty. And then so yeah, we do that. And to get the kind of iconic, I guess R&B, it has an R&B feel to it, to me. I don't know if that's accurate either, but we start with piano, which you can hear. You can't really hear the Wurlitzer, but it is there. That's it. Then we bring in the drums. Really simple rolling drum break. We do kind of a 4 count. I go into the main motif of the... You've got stinger bass. It's pretty simple. 1 note and a step up, which is basically what I do for every song. If you listen to the musical especially, I really like I really use this step up in the bass quite often, and you can hear it there. Then we come in with the violins. Very pretty. We have the second, I think it's the lower octave. Sorry, upper octave. You'll notice that they're slightly different, and they sound different, but together. And then we add in the last violins. Those are really low. Oh, it's actually not violins. I forgot about that. It's not violins, it's horns. I actually use this really fun free plugin. It is the BBC Symphony Orchestra. So if you don't know about Spitfire Audio, highly, highly, highly recommend. A lot of the sounds that I use are from it. Mostly, I would say my sounds and samples are from the Logic Pro sample library, but Spitfire is an amazing free plugin software that you can use. They have great piano sounds, and their BBC Symphony Orchestra is absolutely gorgeous. It's great though. These are all sounds used. So these are horns, really pretty stuff. And then I just go in with the driven whirly, which is the main melody. And that's it. We get to the second section. The second section, a kind of orchestral part. These, obviously in this we're using orchestral sounds, but this is kind of the more predominantly orchestral part. We go in with the blown strings, which is a really fun. I love it so much. It's so cute. And we do the same thing with the studio violas. Pizzicato, remember that? Pluck, 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 pluck. And I think we do the same thing an octave up. Oh no, a harmony. Oh, we're getting fancy. Simple. And then lastly, you'll notice we do this. So that's a. So it's just A minor, E, F sharp, 7, back to an A major, back to an A minor. And then land back on that C, whatever. C. E major 7, 9. But when we do that, I love that. We just do that with the South African singers. I've talked about that before. That's that really rich sound, and we just use that for that sound and the piano. And that's kind of baked in there because it's supposed to be a subtle part. And this is a concept I wanted to talk about, which I call ghost notes, which basically is an implied melody continuation or an implied melody stem. So a ghost melody in my mind is when you have an actual melody going and then it gets to a section and it keeps playing, but it actually doesn't keep playing. It just, in your brain, it keeps playing. And I don't know if it's just me who hears it, because I think in music, like when I'm working on these songs, these are all going on in my head, and it's more of a matter of taking them piece by piece and then putting them into the music and then adding on to it later. But it does go on in my head, right? Like this song I felt and heard in my brain before I started playing it. And so maybe I'm mixing these two where it's like, here's what's actually playing, here's what I think, and I'm mixing them. But you can let me know what you think. So listen really closely to the or whatever. Listen. So head, I hear, but it's not playing that. You can see, let's just really zoom in. You can look note for note. So we're looking at this section here, right? There. I hear that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm going crazy. It's very possible. But, and then I hear the second note. So just one more time. I'm going to play the note this time so you hear it, and then let me know if you're like, oh yeah, I did hear that before. Comments whether or not you heard it. So it happens a lot in my music. There's a lot of moments where there's these ghost melodies that go on that I don't play but sound like I'm playing. And then we just go into the same thing. It's just the same thing. Come on, let's be honest. I will show you. This was an older version. So this is what it sounds like normally after the... But back in the day, I was going to have this weird synth. So one of the things that I was really inspired by for this song is like gospel music, like electronic gospel music. It is some of the most insanely complex music I've ever heard. I really like... what's the name of it? I'm forgetting. This is like the 6th time I've done this. We're in an episode where I'm like, I like this, or I reference this, and I cannot remember the name. His name is like Frank Kirk. Oh, Kirk something. Oh, it's driving me insane. Hold on. It's like Love is King or something like that. Something with love. Love Theory. Oh my gosh, it came to me. Love Theory by Kirk Franklin. I knew it. It was like all the parts were there for me. So check that song out. Brothers and sisters. Anyways, I listen to this stuff all the time, and I'm so inspired by the keyboard players and organ players. There's a lot of African American like gospel music key players that are just so insanely good at playing and have these like just that's not even close to what they do, but they just do these incredibly fast melodies that are just gorgeous. My For You page on TikTok is like 90% just gospel music. Yeah, I think they're underappreciated within the music world, because I think that gospel musicians are some of the most talented players in history, but they're playing at churches, and they're doing it to praise God, and so they don't get as much recognition. Anyways, so that's kind of loosely what I was influenced by. I dream of being a keyboard player who can play that well, because they are just insane. But a lot of my For You page is praise break, which is like, when the pastor's on stage and he's like, give them power. And you got the like, Anyway, I can't do it because I don't have an organ. Let me get an organ, and then I can show you kind of. It's so good, and it makes you feel like one of the reasons I think it's such a great genre, gospel music, is also because of the meaning behind why they're doing it, and it's for it's to praise the Lord. I don't like that one. I just need like a yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find I can't play it. I'm sorry. I'm getting carried away. That was one of the influences, and also like another influence for the song is. Messing it up. Um, isn't she lovely, Stevie Wonder? But anyways, the point is there's this kind of rhythm and melodies that are just so powerful. And that's a very like gospel-y song, even though it's not gospel, but it's used a lot actually in gospel. I've been to churches where they've used that song, which is really funny. But that's actually my favorite song to play ever. I usually don't play other people's music, not because I don't like them, but just because I like playing my own music and creating music. But that song I play all the time just because it's in my opinion the closest to a perfect song that I've ever heard, from a key standpoint. It's just so powerful. So yeah, those are the influences. We end on a very simple. And then we go back to that thing, and then the last bit is we just get rid of the drums, and then I've never done this before, and I really like doing it, and I want to incorporate it in more songs, which is where you kind of it's the classic fade out, like every song basically. So many songs have. Now, I think 90% of songs end on a fade out, right? You're like, right? But I was messing around with layered fade out. So one is fading out at different levels. And it's really fun because you kind of get pieces of everything and it's kind of melting away. I'd heard it, you hear it in a lot of songs as well, but let's just brace your ears for a second. So everything's slowly fading, except for the driven whirly is staying up there. It brings up. Which you can actually, this is the automation, so this is the how it fades out. So it starts fading, actually this one starts fading out way up. But the bass and the whirly are the ones that are taking the longest. And then the Studi violins are way lower, slowing, fading out. And it just kind of accentuates the driven whirly and creates this kind of dynamic ending. But that's it. That's all that is in the song. It is the simplest song, and it's a little callback to a genre of music that I am obsessed with and want to work with more and learn more, because this isn't gospel music. It's not to that level that I would be able to call it that. But it's definitely obvious. I think it's very evidently inspired by it. And if it's not, then I still have a long way to go. So yeah. But anyways, I hope this one was a nice chill version of these episodes. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.